Hi, it's me, Brightpinkstar. In this tutorial we're going to have a look at how to use Barch, and when I say use Barch, we're going to be looking at how you can use it for farming. You can use Barch for pushing, particularly if you're Town Hall 10, possibly Town Hall 9 to an extent as well, but we're going to be primarily looking at farming in this video. So Barch, I'd probably say it's a useful strategy from Town Hall 7 up. It's one of the most effective farming strategies that there is around, partly because it's so cheap and quick to train. So if you are farming, you want something that's cheap and quick most of the time. You don't want to be training mass drag armies, for example, if you're farming, because it'll take forever, it'll use all your elixir up, and you're not going to make a profit. So the whole point behind Barch is that you start off with your barbarians and you use those as a meat shield for your archers. So your barbarians go in first and then your archers go in second. The barbs will take out the outside buildings, partly while they're getting hit by the defences, and the archers will just follow in and they will be unharmed most of the time, because the barbs will be soaking up the defence and the archers will be able to just help out the barbs and do a lot of damage as well. So it's a great way to try and get into a compartment. If you are trying to farm dark elixir at lower levels, you can use it and just concentrate on one side of a base to get into the dark elixir if it is to one side, or you can use it kind of all spread out around the base, particularly if you've got an abandoned base and you just want to hit all sides. You can spread them out in sort of lines or use them in waves. Now when I'm using Barch, I think it's better from Town Hall 7 upwards, because Town Hall 7 is the first Town Hall where you can get 200 troops. So at Town Hall 7 you can have 200, Town Hall 8 is 200, Town Hall 9 you get the extra 20 capacity, so you get up to 220, and then of course at Town Hall 10 you get 240 troop space. When I'm using Barch, I tend to try and use it around half and half roughly. I tend to go a little bit lighter on the barbs than the archers. So for example at Town Hall 9 I might go for about 100, 105 barbs and the rest will be archers, because I find the archers more effective. Now some people might say, well, why can't you use all archers for this strategy? You can. Obviously that's not a Barch strategy, that's all archers, but the whole point of the barbs is that they do soak up some of the damage, and also barbs are about half the price of an archer, so it does make your army that bit cheaper as well, so it is a bit more effective, and obviously barbs are a little bit quicker to train. Okay, so this is a Town Hall 9 account that I'm using. In this I've got barbs and archers, so I've got 115 archers and 105 barbs. So like I said, reasonably half and half, but a few more archers. I've also got some lightning spells, and those are for the mortar, or if there's a dark elixir pump that I find that's full, sometimes I'll zap them just to get the dark elixir out, but I don't tend to zap storages because that's a bit mean. But if they've abandoned the base and not collected the dark elixir, then it's mine, I'm having it. So that can be quite useful for mortars as well if they're taking out your barbs and archers. You can see in here I'm just going to fill up my barracks just before I go to raid. So I'm just filling my top two, I'm filling those up with archers. Reason being is if it takes me a while to find a raid, I'll hopefully come back and have almost my army full. I'm going to fill this one up with barbarians. And then my fourth one, what I tend to do is fill that full, about half full, or a bit less than half, maybe about 40 barbarians or something in there. Because barbarians do train a bit faster, and if you do fill them all full of barbarians, sometimes you can get too many barbs in your army. I've also got my king and queen to use, so we're going to go and raid here. So you can see I've just found an abandoned base, and I'm starting by putting down some barbarians, and then I'm putting down the archers. I am using a 4-finger Barch technique here, which you can see in one of my other videos. And I actually haven't got my heroes on this raid. I think I did use them on another raid before I recorded this one, but this was a better example. So you can see they're all just moving in. The barbs are taking the damage and distracting the mortars, and the archers are just behind the barbs and they're just taking out the buildings and the other structures. You can lay them down in a line if you prefer, if you don't feel comfortable or using the four-finger technique, or if you are using a phone. You can't use four fingers on that. I'm actually using an iPad. But the principle's just the same. Put the barbs down in waves, put them down in a line. Don't group them all together or they will just get taken out by the mortars. So you can see that one, that was a fair amount of loot because that was an abandoned one. Okay, I hope this video tutorial's helped you. And I hope you managed to go and get some nice loot using Barch.